Hello, everyone. My name is Brian O'Connor. I'm the Head of Institutional Partnerships at Frontiers. Thank you for coming to this vendor session. I'm delighted to be back here. My first year was last year, so it's a great conference, very collaborative and open, great discussions. So thanks for attending. So during this session, we'll explore Frontiers' FAIR2 Data Management solution, which enables researchers to easily transform their data into discoverable, usable, open, and citable contributions. So first, Frontiers was founded by researchers for researchers with a very clear mission: to accelerate scientific discovery by making all science open. And it's a mission that still serves us today. By harnessing the latest custom-built technology, artificial intelligence, and rigorous quality standards, we want to make science even more powerful by ensuring it is openly available so that society can generate more knowledge and accelerate innovation, health, and prosperity for all. Research is the foundation of modern society, and it's thanks to advances in science that we enjoy longer, healthier, and more prosperous lives than ever before in human history. Immediate and open access to high-quality research is vital for achieving this. Frontiers, we're a multidisciplinary publisher, and our portfolio continues to grow to meet community demand. We are continuously innovating to make academic publishing better. We build our technology in-house, which has resulted in fast, efficient, and a highly scalable open science platform customized to meet the needs of the research community. Artificial intelligence is really transforming research, from the generation of data, text, and images to the publication and dissemination of research. And it all started upon open data, open access, open science, because AI needs data to create. Most countries have mandates of open science policies, and with this openness comes with higher levels of availability, but also of scrutiny of the articles published and the research and the underlying data. To support the publishing community and help shape the support and open science future supported by AI, we're delighted to share our FAIR2 Data Management solution, which is powered by Sense Science. Why FAIR2, you ask? Well, in science, what's published in articles is just the tip of the iceberg. The real treasure, research data, often lies hidden beneath the surface. Today, more than 80% of valuable research data is never shared. When we take a step back and think of all the effort that goes into getting the data in the first place, designing the study, collecting and cleaning it, often it does its job and leads to the findings in a paper. Why does that have to be the end of the story? What if we could support researchers in restructuring that data in a way that makes it truly reusable and discoverable by other researchers, maybe even in completely different fields? To unlock its full potential, we need a new approach. That's why we've created FAIR2 Data Management, now offered by Frontiers. FAIR2 ensures that research data sees the light of day, but takes it several steps further for the AI future we're headed towards. Frontiers FAIR2 is the first all-in-one which manages the full data cycle after collection, from curation and certification to publication, preservation, and reuse. The FAIR2 Data Management solution consists of three elements: the data package, which automates hard work with AI. Clara, our AI data steward, helps researchers tidy the data, handles rich data, metadata creation, ensures standards compliance, and curation in minutes instead of weeks. The data article, this is all about the data itself, how it was collected, how it was structured, and more importantly, how other researchers can use it in their own work. This goes through a peer review process, and once accepted, becomes a citable article. The data portal makes data reusable and accessible. Interactive portals allow people to explore and interact with the data itself. So I'm going to stay quiet for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of an intro into FAIR2 and a quick overview. So hopefully this will work.
Welcome to FAIR2 Data Management. Get ready to start your AI-driven data management journey with Frontiers. Tasks that once took months of manual work will now take just minutes. To get started, you need a Loop account to connect via Frontiers submission system. Methodology document describing how your data was collected, processed, or validated. A structured, tidy data table, ready to transform your data sharing? Once you've signed in, Clara, our AI data steward, will prepare your project space. Customize the page to suit your preferences. Clara will give you prompts as you go. Use the chat box to collaborate with her directly. She can even change language preferences for you. Simply drag and drop your files to get started, and let Clara guide you through composing, curating, and visualizing your data. On this data table example, you can see that each row is one observation, each column is one clear variable, and each cell only contains one value. She will generate a title, author list, keywords, and initial summary for you to review. Once you are happy with the information generated and have included all relevant data sets, you can begin data curation. Your Methods section is now being extracted and organized from your uploaded documents. Clara will prompt you when it's ready. You can edit any of the sections, and Clara will review these for you and help you to refine. Next, a data dictionary is created to describe each field in your data set. This is an important step for ensuring your data package provides common understanding of data by defining its structure, relationships, and attributes. This eliminates ambiguity and ensures data is interpreted consistently by both humans and machines. Clara will tell you what to look out for during this step. Now the fun part. Let's start visualizing your data. Clara will make recommendations on the best ways to visualize, and if you agree, ask her to go ahead and generate those figures for you to review. You can explore the figures and ask her for adjustments anytime. Select which figures you would like to include in your FAIR2 data article. Now you can work together to prepare your article for submission to a Frontiers journal. Clara will take you through each step of the article curation, from abstract, introduction, and methods to the data overview, which comes with a FAIR2 certification, recognizing that your data not only meets the FAIR principles of findability, accessibility, interoperability, and reusability, but is also AI-ready and responsibly reusable. Review each step and ensure the data overview clearly describes contents, structure, and key features of your data set. If you need to make any additions, just ask Clara. Now you can start seeing your article come to life. Review the displayed visualizations that you chose earlier in the process, along with their described observations. Data Explorer is an interactive portal created uniquely from your dataset and article, which will be published alongside your data article. Take a moment to explore its features. Dive deeper into the dataset, playing with the filters at the top, before you move on to a final review of the interactive FAIR2 data portal. And your article is now ready for submission to a Frontiers journal. Together, we are reshaping discovery and turning your data sets into practical infrastructure for real-world impact.
Okay, so that's a quick overview of our FAIR2 data management. So underlying the FAIR2 data management is our open specifications, which is now available on FAIR2 FAIR2 provides additional recognition for researchers' efforts. With the FAIR2 data management solution, every dataset becomes a certified, peer-reviewed, citable, giving researchers formal credit. Frontiers wants to ensure trust and support the development of standards. Datasets are MLC Commons cross-on compatible, validated to the Frontiers Squared open specification. This is governed by the FAIR2 Alliance, ensuring data research is responsible, reliable, and AI ready. The FAIR2 Data Alliance is an independent governed non-profit group that developed the open standards based specifications that make the data fair, machine actionable, and systematically rich. The FAIR2 open, so it's there on, so we call it FAIR2, but it's just FAIR2.ai. So that's where you can find more information, and that's available now. Also, given that we have a little bit of time, I'll open it to questions, but you can actually take a picture, and there's QR codes to different aspects of the portal and the data management system that we have. Our institutional partnership program, we're already working with over 370 institutes worldwide. Through the institutional partnership program, we accelerated the transformation of open science. So I look forward to the opportunity of continuing the conversation and potentially expanding the partnership to those of you who are listening today. These are my contact details, but also we have a stand downstairs, so if you'd like to come visit us, please do. It's 122, and that's FAIR2 Data Management. So if you have any questions, I can take them on.
So it's a license, or how do these institutes join and start?
So it's as if they were submitting a research article, essentially, but it's just an article for the data sets that they've worked on, done their research. So many times you do have researchers that will do the work and they mightn't necessarily get the results they want, and all that time and effort is lost. But with something like this, at least they can gain recognition over the data that they collected and curated, and give them some form of return for the work they contributed. But also it's to really scale up the discoverability of the data that lies under the articles. It's to expand and maybe even, so say you have a city and they've done a review on the car traffic journeys and emissions, and a policymaker can try and engage with that and make it accessible. But if you also have, in terms of bike systems, public transport systems, if they were all FAIR2 enabled, they could be interoperable and create greater insights by AI. So this is just a starting point to really prepare for the future of AI-enabled research.
You mentioned that it's connected to the submission system, is that right?
Yes.
So if I've submitted to a different journal, a different publisher, I couldn't currently.
You can, yeah. You can. So it's based on a publication of the data. Usually we would think that they'd have an article with us already, but if not, they can still publish with us. So it's initially covers the data management fee is 5,500 CHF, and that covers this new portal that enables the data cleanup and enablement and Clara's support and the portal once it's made live, but also the APC. So there's no double payment here. Most of the data that's utilized is tabular, but this is just the starting point. We look to advance and take on other formats that are needed, but right now tabular made the most sense in the research world.
So, my understanding about your product is that this one does not provide the data curation. You just become a deposit of data that already curated, not sensitive data. And is that right?
Yes, yeah. So it's non-identifiable data can be submitted into this data set, and then the article itself is peer reviewed, and the Clara, the system allows for best guess based on standards that are out there, but it's the researcher themselves that do the final curation before it's submitted for peer review.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the AI provided insight, how valid that is compared with a human being. And because only you compare and evaluate that, then you can claim the AI provided insight. That's actually useful.
Yeah, and that's why it goes to peer review, but that's why we also have the open specifications, the FAIR2 open specifications and the FAIR2 Alliance group to provide that betterment and development and refinement that AI does get better and does provide better curation, better standards. If that answers your question.
That you provide a direction, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The working direction,
A working
but does not say status of that, how valid that is.
So you do get a certification at the end once it's been accepted, and it does call out exactly what has been done in terms of the use of AI in terms of the article versus what data was provided. So there is a separation there.
I was trying to figure out how much is AI, how much is human effort going into this whole process.
Yeah. So in terms, I suppose AI, all it does is the Clara. Well, all it does. Clara allows the structure and the creation of metadata. So it takes all the additional efforts that a researcher mightn't necessarily have, that they might need to go to a librarian for additional support if they were to do this without our FAIR2 Data Management solution. So it takes all that additional effort away from the researcher, but still gives it back to them to approve and ensure that the methods, the research data methods and everything were applied correctly by the AI.
Yeah, the idea is very nice, but in order to use that, put it into it, that takes a lot of discernment. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So what's the output that the author gets? And is it a data note? The article that comes, are you publishing a data note?
So there's two things that get published. There's the data article that provides the context of the data set, and then there's a live interactive data portal for that specific research.
So what's going into the journal? So what's going into a Frontiers journal? Is that
The data article.
the data article? Is that what you call it? So what's the article type? Is it data article?
Data article.
And then, to your point, if the original article was published elsewhere, how are you linking the two together?
They cite that so the data article is about the data set, not about any outcomes.
So there is a separate research article. If it was original research, it would be the research article, which is published as normal, and then there's a data article. Which is published as well.
Exactly, yeah. But again, so they'd have to go through it again. So that's why we can do it, but we
But
don't
they
think.
would pay double because
Exactly.
they would pay the publisher they go with originally, and they would have to pay with the data article.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say no because of the additional value add that our FAIR2 data management system does do, but we're not expecting this kind of work. This is for the future or people that are considering articles.
Thanks.
So there's no linking at all?
There can be, but we don't think that there's a demand or a need for it because the articles have been published already. The research findings have been published already.
But they're linked using the DOIs, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you so you've got your DOI for the data set that you're getting through this. And are you providing a separate DOI for the data article?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Two
So you
separate.
could get 3 DOIs.
Exactly, right. Yeah. But essentially our focus now is just on original new research. And then also we've gone a step further and there's actually a podcast can be produced based off of the findings. And it's again, that's AI generated. It's kind of like a discussion blog between two people that talk about what the work was, and it's been received by researchers incredibly well. It's just, again, a way of disseminating knowledge in this new medium that is of value.
Quick question. You said it's linking by DOI. Does it also match PubMed ID? Because a lot of our researchers use PubMed ID over DOI.
I don't have an answer to that, but what I can do is this will be a webinar, so I can address that question on that session, or I can take your details after and I'll let you know.
And what are the terms of reuse of this data?
That's the whole purpose of this. It is for mass reusability
Without any terms?
without any terms. That's, again, it's Frontier's mission. We want to make science open. So pay for it once and pass it on. Be progressive. Also, it might be of value, seeing as we're speaking with librarians, we don't necessarily have to host and hold the data. It can link to repositories. So it's just the portal would sit on top of that link to the repository, which is important. But again, if you have any additional questions or anything like that, feel free to email me and we'll get back to you or visit our stand. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.